Hey TikTok users, wanted to talk to you all about narcissist and narcissism. I have been educating myself on this subject for, about 3 years now. I'm not an expert, but based on what I've been going through the last 16 years off and on, it all started with, I think, like a quote or something on Facebook, and, I've just been kind of delving into it ever since to try to figure out what the hell, the hell is going on here. So, because, when you're with a narcissist, you begin to think that you're the crazy one. So, before I go on to more videos, which will come based on my own experiences, I want to give everybody an idea of, if you don't already know, what narcissism is. There's different types of narcissists out there. And all of us have a little bit of narcissism in us, including myself. So, don't, go on crazy on the narcissist and not, take any kind of ownership or accountability for yourself. But where these people can pit you at mentally and physically, because it can start to affect you physically, is not a good place. And you've got to really dig yourself out of it. And it's going to take some work. And it's certainly taking some work for me. So I'll just start with, what basically, is a narcissist. They have pretty much lost touch with reality. Their reality is not reality in itself. They live in like the fantasy world, and they kind of make up their own rules and fantasies as they go. They have an extreme, excessive need for admiration. They want it not just from you, but from everyone around them. They really do have a disregard for other people's feelings. You may think that they are, feeling bad for you, sad for you, with you. But the reality is they're really not. Behind your back, they don't give a shit about your feelings. They have a really bad case and inability to handle any kind of criticism, whether it be constructive or just straight up criticism. I think I have that one too, because nobody likes to hear crappy things or even, any kind of constructive criticism about yourself. But as a good person and a person that needs to hear and wants to grow and change and keep growing as a person, there's nothing wrong with receiving criticism as long as it is constructive. They also have like this sense of entitlement, like they're better than everybody else at everything. They cook eggs better than you. They scrub the toilet better than you. Their way of scrubbing the toilet is better than your way of scrubbing the toilet. It really gets down to like crazy stuff like that. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of entitlement if you're really proud of something that you're doing or how you do it. But when it comes to just shit like that, where you're just like, nothing you do is right or good enough, or up to their expertise, like frying an egg or scrubbing the toilet or, whatever. It's just that kind of sense of entitlement that you want to start thinking about. Like, that's a huge red flag. Who gives a shit? If the toilet's clean, then who gives a shit how I go about doing it, right? And if the egg's cooked, who gives a crap about, how I cook the egg? So pay attention to that. They can be very cocky and manipulative, selfish, very patronizing and demanding. So my narc, if he asked me, said, let's go to dinner, and I wasn't in the mood to go to dinner that night, he would be like, come on, let's go to dinner. Come on. Let's just go. Come on, no. And then, I'd be attacked for not wanting to go out to dinner, and he would just relentlessly, if I said no to something, he was relentless until he got his way. So keep that in mind. They do lack empathy. So if they've done something to make you feel bad, or they hear of something that happened to somebody else, they don't have empathy for that person or those people. They may act like they do, but they don't. Behind closed doors, they really don't give a shit. They don't. They exploit other people, and that kind of goes along with the manipulation. It's not just you that they're exploiting and manipulating, it's other people too. They fantasize like fame and glory, like, you know, I mean, everybody wants to win the lottery, right? Like, even I want to win the lottery, but they really do, like, in their mind, you know, well, I wish I could have this, or there's so many examples I could give you. I just want to stick to what a narcissist is and some of their traits. But later on, I'll give you some good stories. They're very passive aggressive. Their comments are very passive aggressive. I'm an Aries, so I don't like passive aggressive people. I like people that are direct. And yeah, I mean, might hurt my feelings, but I would rather you be direct with me than just give off these, you know, random passive aggressive traits. It makes me feel like you don't have any real balls about you. And they can have like these teasing remarks, and they kind of mock you, and it makes it seem like it's a joke. And I've heard that a number of times. Oh, well, that was just a joke. Okay, well, one time might be a joke, but if it's more than once, it's no longer a joke. So pay attention to that red flag too. If they keep saying, oh, it's a joke, or these passive aggressive things that they're doing when they can't just come right out and say it, is because they don't have the balls to. Okay? Exaggerating their self-abilities. You know, everybody is great at things. I mean, everybody, even narcs are great at certain things. So, you know, that's great, but you don't have to like exaggerate it. People will be able to know what you're good at, okay, without you having to exaggerate it. They have long-held grudges. Long-held grudges, like till the day that they die, probably. Grudges. Especially if you cross them in any way, shape, or form. If you're trying to get away from them, or if you actually get out of a relationship with them, it's definitely going to be all your fault. And, you know, you're the crazy bipolar one and all this nonsense. But if they don't get their way, and you don't go along with what they want and how they want it and when they want it and their way or no way, then you will have a grudge held against you until the end of time. They're very envious of people. And a lot of people may not know that about them because they don't really share that with their circle of people, whether it be family or friends. And so they're envious of just in general people that they don't even know. And they can be very envious of people that they do know. And, you know, that will, you know, come across to you as, oh, that's so great, you know, I mean, right on, go, you know, this is so awesome. It's just brilliant. But behind closed doors, they are not happy. They are not happy with anybody else's achievements, but their own. And, they don't like anybody else succeeding bigger than them or better than them. And, you know, the moment that you think you're sharing that with this person, again, behind closed doors, they are just chomping at the bits and will act out behind your back, of course, not to your face, but, you know, passive aggressive remark maybe here and there. But trust me, they're steaming at home. And they don't want anybody to do better than them or be better than them. Period. End of story. I don't care what kind of bullshit fluff they're giving you to your face or on the phone. Behind closed doors, it's a totally different situation. There's also differences in narcissists. You know, there's just an outward like narcissist, and then there's what people call covert narcissism, which is they have all the same traits as an outward narcissists, but they're more covert about it. So they're not as, I like to say, flashy with their narcissism. So they're a little bit more shy and covert, and they will come across shy. They will have a little bit of, seem like, humility about them. They're highly, highly sensitive about what other people think about them, like strangers. They could give a shit less what you think about them. But strangers, friends, that kind of stuff, I mean, they really, really care what the outside world and outside people think about them. I mean, my narc, one time I went camping with him, and he changed his shirt like 3 or 4 times in an hour, because he wanted to, and there was no sweating going on. It was a cool day, no strenuous activity to sweat. He just wanted to change his shirt over and over and over again, just to, you know, have the best shirt on, to have the best look and the best shirt, so he can, you know, present that to the people in the campground around him that he didn't even know. So, you know, weird stuff like that. So pay attention to that. There's nothing wrong with looking good, but, you know, that was a little excessive. Procrastinating on tasks they would think that would be beneath them. So, if they think it's beneath them, but they know it's got to get it done, I mean, they're going to procrastinate and procrastinate and procrastinate, and they're huge procrastinators on some things. You know, makes others feel bad about themselves. They kind of do subtle blame shifting, and I've had that happen to me where it's not like outward blame. I've had that done too, but they, with covert narcissists, they do it. They subtly blame other people and shifting that. You know, it's almost like they do a lot of like backstabbing and gossiping and talking about other people behind their backs, and you know, these people don't even realize. I mean, this is family and friends, and it's really it's interesting to see when you're on the outside of it looking in, and even when you're on the inside, you know, of it too. Hopefully you begin to see some of these things, and you're like, okay, I mean, if he's, you know, talking shit, you know, about his family and his friends this way, you know, behind their backs, and then, you know, getting together with them or having phone conversations with them, acting like Mr. Supportive Nice Guy all the time, and Mr. Great Guy, everybody, he always said he gets along with everybody likes him. Of course, because you're not sharing the same thoughts with them personally, you know, face to face, of what you're saying about them behind their back. So, of course, they're going to get along with you, and of course, they're going to think you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. So, these are just some common things about narcissism, and, you know, I'll give you examples of like some crazy stuff that has happened over the last 16 years off and on. There's everything. I've been love bombed. I've been gaslighted. I've been hoovered over. I've been in a triangulation. You know, it's just, I could go on, and I'll make more videos, but for now, I just kind of wanted to get out there what narcissism is, and the fact that, you know, I'm not coming from a place of like angry or anything like that anymore. I just want to put out some self-awareness and let everybody know that I'm self-aware. And, you know, I realize that, you know, people can be shameful of this, myself included, and I'm not ashamed of it anymore. I'm getting it out there because it's important. It's important for me in my healing, and hopefully you'll watch some of the other people's videos that I've seen, or do your own research. Don't overthink it, but, you know, definitely start putting, you know, puzzles and pieces together. And you can only do that when you're out of it and getting a clear head. So, see you later.